Yo, what's poppin' guys, Sizzyl here, and today I'll be talking about a game that went off sale all the way back in 2019 called Poker Night at the Inventory. As the title of this video game suggests, it's a game where you play poker on poker night at a place called the Inventory against specific characters. What makes this game special is who those specific characters are, with there being 4 total characters. Tycho from Penny's Arcade, Strongbad from Homestar Runner, Max from Sam & Max, and the Heavy from Team Fortress 2. As you play poker against these characters, they just have idle chit-chat and kind of, have banter and talks with each other, which, if you know the characters, can be somewhat entertaining and good enough to kind of keep you roped in as you're just casually playing poker against AI. But if you don't know these 4 characters that are in this video game, it's just gonna be shit, I'll be honest. I don't think you'll find it entertaining at all. I do think knowing the characters definitely adds a lot of charm to what they're saying, and that if you don't know the characters that well or don't like them that much, that a lot of it will be super corny or annoying or something along those lines. Since there's pretty much nothing to talk about from a gameplay perspective, because all you do is play poker and either win or lose and then play another round of poker at the very same table with the very same characters, what I'll talk about instead are the customization options, which are basically your different options while playing this game. First off, you do have 4 different sets of dialogue options, which is basically the different lines that they say to each other. You can pick the types of lines they say to each other. The problem with those 4 options is that 3 of them kinda suck, even knowing the characters. From my personal experience, Gift the Gab and Mum's the Word are just very mediocre and very kind of almost painful to listen to, even loving these characters. Idle Chit Chat is the 3rd option that sucks, and they basically just don't talk, which obviously sucks because that's the whole point of this game. And the 4th option is Chewing the Fat, which was very nice and interesting, and it was actually pretty interesting to hear as I was playing the game. The problem is, I played this game for a total of 2 hours, and I was already getting repeat lines every 3rd voice line, which is kind of insane, and not a very good sign, considering I think I bought this game for $20 back in 2019 when it was available. Beyond that, the other customization comes from the cards and the table. You can unlock different decks of cards which have different, card graphics, and you can also unlock different tables which change the table that you're playing on top of. And I will say, this game actually had some very good options when it comes to this stuff. I only unlocked about 10% of it while I was playing, but in that time, I got to see a cool little Max Devil table, and I got to see the Team Fortress 2 deck of cards, which actually was super cool to see, and I almost wish I had a deck of them in real life. Beyond that, there's really not too much to talk about, the last thing of note being the graphics, which were overall pretty fine, but for some reason, the Heavy shading, like his shadows, were absolutely fucked up, which is kind of embarrassing considering that this game came out in 2010, which was a whole year after TF2. Now that I've talked about pretty much everything this game has to offer, you're probably wondering, how did you even find out about this game? Why did you buy it? And why does anyone else know about it? And that would be because you can get some exclusive TF2 items by playing this game and getting specific achievements. All those achievements are tied to in-game events, where after every round of poker, whenever you start the new round, there's a decently high chance that one of the 4 characters that I mentioned brings in an item instead of money to play with, and that if you beat that character and you're the person that eliminates them, you get to keep that item and then use it in TF2. With those items being the Iron Curtain, the Enthusiast Timepiece, the License to Maim, the Luger Morph, and most importantly, the Dangerous 2, which is a pretty nice looking pair of glasses that you can wear in TF2. These rewards are pretty much the only reason I bought this game, and that most other people bought this game if you look at the Steam reviews, and they're luckily pretty easy to get. Each item took me at most 2 attempts to get, with the ones where I failed the first time being before I understood the way things worked, which is that all you have to do is eliminate the guy who brought the item. You don't actually need to win the entire table. It actually doesn't matter if you win the table. Even if you beat the guy that brought the item, you won't get the item, which I think is a bit weird, which means the optimal way to get these items is by just copying exactly what that specific player does. So for example, let's say if the Heavy brought in the Iron Curtain, which is his minigun, all you want to do is copy exactly what he does, If he folds and gives up on the hand, you fold and give up on the hand. If he calls and keeps going, you call and keep going. If he goes all in, you go all in, right? You just copy exactly what he does and hope that your hand's better at the time, which is kind of unfortunate because that defeats the whole point of poker and removes all the strategy and fun of the actual card game itself. But it is the most efficient way at just winning these items. Most of the time, you'll just win off of that alone, and then you can just lose the hand, it doesn't really matter. And with all that being said, that's genuinely all there is to talk about this game, right? It's a very, very basic game, a very, very short game, not really too much to offer outside of those TF2 items, which is why I own it and other people have bought it. And overall, I'm definitely gonna have to rate this game a 1 out of 5.